In this class, we are going to understand about class loading, okay, and this we are going to understand with the help of an example. So on this board already I wrote one program, that is b.java. It contains two classes, A class and B class. So B class contain what? Main method. In this main method we are creating ob1 and ob2 objects of what? A classes. Two objects of A class we created, okay. So when this Java program is compiled by using Java compiler, okay, what does a Java compiler do here? Okay, so when this is translated, sir, you may ask me. So in the Eclipse, as you type this particular program, it will be automatically compiled, automatically translated into bytecode, okay. So like this program b.java program, when we give to the Java compiler, it will translate into bytecode. So this a.class bytecode is stored in what? Sorry, a class is translated into bytecode and stored into what? A dot class. This B class is translated into what? Bytecode and stored into what? B dot class, okay. So this A class contains the bytecode of A class, B dot class contains the bytecode of B class, okay, right. So these are nothing but bytecode files. Let me write here, these are called as bytecode files of classes, okay, right. Like this, each class contains a separate bytecode in Java, okay. Now where these bytecodes are stored? These bytecodes are stored in what? Hard disk, HD hard disk, okay. So in your hard disk it is going to be stored, okay, fine. So whenever you run the program, what happens? Let me tell you what happens when you generally run the program, okay. So when I run the program, the program always starts from what? Main, okay. Whenever you run the program, program always begins from main, okay. Therefore enters here. Now this is what? A ob1 is equal to new of A. So what happens is, this is what we call as JVM memory, okay. This is what we call as JVM memory, okay. This contains different types of memories actually, okay, but general orally we will understand now. So what happens here? It is, now it starts from what? It starts executing from main, okay. Therefore A is equal to ob1 is equal to new of A class. So what happens here? It is, this object of A class should be created, okay. So before the object is created, what does the JVM do? The JVM, first of all, what does it do here? It is, it's going to find the A class on the hard disk, okay. So it will go to the hard disk and it will load this particular A dot class, it will load the A class dot class into the memory. So like this class A, which is a bytecode, okay, but orally I am writing like this in English only, okay. This is what nothing but the A dot class will be loaded into memory, okay. So like this it will be loaded into the memory, please. This is okay. So like this is called as class loading, okay. This is called as class loading. So whenever an object is wants to create, or whenever you are using the class name first time, okay, what does a JVM do? The JVM will load the dot class file, okay, the dot class file present on hard disk into memory, and this process of loading the class files from hard disk into memory is known as what? Class loading, okay, right. Now fine, then after loading the class, now this object will be created and assigns to ob1. So therefore ob1 is an object created. This is what the object created. Is that clear? Right. So first of all, class is loaded into the memory, and then after the object is created, okay, then after the object is created. Clear? Right. Now what happens here? It is, now again let me take here something like, okay, so okay, fine, right. Now next statement will go here, A ob2 is equal to new of A. Again here the object we are creating second time, we are using the A class second time. Therefore the A class will not load now, because the class is already present in the memory. A class is already present in the memory, therefore the class will not load. So at this particular place, class does not load, class, okay, does not load. Why it will not load? Because it already present in the memory, therefore it will not load the class. Only the object will be created and assigns to ob2, okay. So therefore ob2 is an object created, just object created, that's it. Is okay, right? So like this, whenever you use a class, in the program, okay, whenever the class name come across first time in the program, or whenever you are creating the object to the class first time in the program, now what does the JVM do? The JVM will go to the hard disk, it will find its relevant bytecode class file, and that particular class file will be loaded into the memory. And then the object for this particular class, the object will be created. Okay, so the process of loading the class present on hard disk into memory is known as what? Class loading. Okay, this is what we call as class loading. Okay, if the class is already present in the memory, the class will not load second time. Okay, now because of any reason, if this class memory is deleted from the JVM memory, assume the class memory is deleted, then in this particular situation, now at this particular situation, the class will be loaded again. Okay, right? So like this, a class can be loaded any number of times in the program, but if the class is already present in the JVM memory, it will not load again. That is what happens with it. Okay, so this is what we call as class loading. So first of all, class will be loaded into the memory, and then to that class object will be created next. Okay, so class is loaded into the memory first, and then the objects are what? Created. This is the point that you have to remember. Is it clear? Okay.